Welcome back to another episode of Career Corner with my main man, who is situated in KZN, Osebenza in Richards Bay. But I'm going to let him talk and introduce himself and tell us what does he do on this episode of Career Corner. Mxolisi, take it away.
Hey, what's happening? Like you said, my name is Mxolisi Menyuka from Eskawini.
Yes.
KZN, the region as they call us.
Yes.
No, I am an artisan boiler maker working in one of the mines in Richards Bay.
Okay.
I believe I need to say how I got into it, correct?
Yeah, yes, sir. Just tell us, first of all, what is an artisan boiler maker and how did you get into it?
An artisan boiler maker is someone who works with steel. If you know a carpenter, then that's what a boiler maker does. You build stuff from steel. Like how a carpenter would build stuff from timber, we build stuff from steel. And the big stuff, like all these things, the silo that you see on the road, the big things that you got cases, humble whatever cases, a boiler maker would have done that. How did I get introduced to it? Fortunately for me, say in high school, I went to a technical high school.
Okay.
Even though a technical high school, basically what they do is they teach you trades.
Okay.
From grade 10. So I was introduced to electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, which mechanical engineering comprises of many fields. One being fitting and turning, two being boiler making, three mechanical logo candy motor. So I chose fitting in high school. So I did that, and then after high school I went to a technical college. And I had an advantage because I come from a technical high school, as I was here in Genko. But as fate would have it, I did fitting and turning again in technical high school, in technical college. But as fate would have it, I got an interview for an apprenticeship for Boilermaker. I went there with no clue of Boilermaking was, but fortunately for me, they didn't ask me technical questions when I went in there. They just asked me basic questions, and they told me what they make me a Boilermaker.
Okay.
So I did that. I did Bank Tata as an apprentice, and they taught me everything: working with steel, welding, putting things together, cutting with the cutting torch, and so forth. Using my power tools and then the open. And then I qualified in 2011. So what happens is you do your apprenticeship, and then after you've done your apprenticeship for 3 years, which comprises of work experience, where you're working in the workshop, and they take you to a college to learn other things that you're going to need in the field. And then after that, after the 3 years, you write a trade test. A trade test is where you get tested on your knowledge. It's a 2-day process. No, it's actually a 1-day process. It depends on the industry. Mining, you do 2 days. Where I was, which was fabrication, you did 1 day. So they give you tasks, and then you work on your own. You have to do everything to spec correctly, and then after that, you qualify. You get a certificate which you use to get a job, and that is what I used. And fast forward to now, I've been working as a boiler maker now for 8 years.
Wow.
8 years. I now work in a mining. I work for a mining company.
Okay.
Whereas my training was done in the fabrication company. Not fabrication company, manufacturing industry.
Okay.
So that's the basic of it. That's the basic of it.
Oh, okay. So you're saying you've been working for what, 8 years now? 8 years, right?
Yes, 8 years. Yeah.
So basically, we can say you are a pro because after 5 years working in any field, you are regarded as a professional in what you do, like a pro. Like like what you're saying right now, saying to people, Wuti, I went to a technical school, and after a technical school, I moved, and then I work at Jega. You are giving Abantu like steps to follow if they want to be like boiler makers, which is cool because it's working with your hands. Yeah. So tell me, my brother, like just to go off a tangent, now we're going through a tangent. How was your job affected how are you guys finding it in your field, like right now, as a Boilermaker?
The fortunate thing is that I work for a mining company, and mining companies were not shut down completely.
Okay.
So, all we had to do was change the way that we were working, so that we could minimize human interaction. So, us being affected, no, we were not affected, no, because I've been working throughout. The day of who shut down the country.
Yes.
We changed the way that we work. Then we were divided into teams. So there's one would work the next day and the other would work. So we work 4 days in, and then we're off 4 days, and the next team comes in. So we're not affected, no. Only the time. Fortunately for us, yeah.
That's very nice, because one of the reasons why we're doing these kinds of videos, especially with you, because you're a person who went and got like literally a technical skill where you can work with your hands. It's not all jobs that you have to go and say you sit down in university for 4 years to study. There's things that you can actually do and study within a short period of time and actually be able to make a living and sustain your family for like a lifetime. It's not everyone who is meant to go to varsity. That's the thing I'm trying to highlight here with people. I'm gifted in my hands. When it comes to things that I have to do things with my hands, those kinds of careers, actually I can look into those kinds of careers. So tell me some of the challenges that you have as the job that you're doing, some of the challenges that you have as a Boilermaker. Are there any challenges, or is it just like smooth sailing, cruise control, Mercedes-Benz on an N2?
No. I'm not going to lie and say it's smooth sailing, my man. But also it depends on the industry. Like where I am, we don't work as much as where I was before, manufacturing. Right now, I'm in maintenance.
You what?
I am in maintenance.
Or maintenance?
I do maintenance. Of a situation, think of I think in motor industry. Motor industry will be much easier for me to use, for you to understand.
Okay.
So, you have a production line where a BMW is built, right? Those people are working 24/7. They have to manufacture a car every day. Then the line is moving. But when it comes to car maintenance, your car only goes in for maintenance after in intervals.
Yes.
So the person who actually maintains the car doesn't have to do the same amount of work as a motor or manufacturer. So what I'm saying is, I work in a running plant. I work in a running plant which produces a mineral. My job is to fix whatever is broken.
Okay.
Understand? In that process. So the plant has to run all the time. So we try by all means to minimize stoppage time. So there isn't a lot of work compared to what you call manufacturing. But the trade itself, as a boiler making trade, the way that it is, it's not, no, you don't sit in an office, you work with your hands the whole day, you build stuff. There is a drawing that you refer to. You get given a drawing, you get given material, like in this only. Then when you have to cut them to size, build stuff from there. So like I would say, think of Marcelo Mutuakizin, Bacholama blocks, net drawing.
Yes.
They go pants, they fag, then you get this mention. That is what we do. Only us with Spanish anything.
Insane.
Spanish anything. Yeah, that's the difference. But again, back to you said something about university and I think it's very important that we put it out there.
Yes.
We have a lot of graduates, because developer, the drive has always been get a degree, get a. But unfortunately, with the South African system, with education system, is that what's a mayor, actually a mayor like Msatuze, when you're what's our problem is that our education system actually caters 60% of education and 40% trade. whereas it's supposed to be the other way around.
Oh.
Because it's supposed to be the other way around. It's supposed to have more people who are working with their hands over academics. Because if you take a mine, for instance, which employs 2,000 people, of the 2,000 people, 1,200 people are skilled people who are working with their hands.
Oh.
Then the other 800, for about 50, about skilled, you only have one HR. So if you have Ingane into HR, 200, whereas the market only wants one HR for 50 people or 200 people. There's a disconnect there, so that needs to be fixed. Not just HR. I just told HR because it came to my head. Even accountants.
Yes.
All the other professions. It's very important to understand this. We need to relook. We need information. We need to be educated. We need such platforms where people can talk about these things. Another thing, as an artisan, a lot of people that I know have branched out to start their own business.
Yes.
Because it's much easier. Because you are working with your hands. It's things that you know. You don't have to. You know exactly what's supposed to happen. So there's also that opportunity there.
Oh wow, that's actually something that I wasn't even thinking about. Forget being employed. The fact that you can literally start, because like the president was saying very recently in one of his speeches, Guti, people need to start becoming more business minded in this economy. Especially right now, it's not a time right now which we're going to say I'm going to sit and wait and look for a job. People need to start being business minded and start doing things for themselves, because let's face it, people got retrenched, people lost their jobs, especially in our country right now. So if there are things like boiler making that kids can jump into, depending on the academic year in South Africa, 2020, 2021, they jump into it, they take those courses, and then they can just, for instance, these people, these people, you're driving on the side of the road and they're making windows. That's part of the thing, because those people make money. You can see them overrolling. Those people actually make money. They make money. They
make a lot of money.
Who work in offices.
And it's tax free. That money is tax free.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important that is made. I mean, that's information that's needed out there, guys. Seriously, because we keep complaining. I'm gonna bring something else into this. We keep complaining about foreigners taking our jobs. What foreigners are doing in that space, not everywhere else, in that space, they saw an opportunity. Because we wanna go and work for the man. There's nothing wrong with working for the man. Don't get me wrong. I work for the man. But we wanna go work for the man and sit there and sit there, right? And when these guys came in, they saw, hey man, I can actually make windows.
Yes.
No one is making windows. I can actually make gates. No one is making gates. And then they started the streets, and these people are making money, they're making serious money.
Yes.
They're making serious money.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yo, bro, no, thank you. Thank you for just the gist of your interview. You just took it from me. I was gonna list questions, but you pretty much answered all the important things that I feel like a person who's not only just interested in boiler making, a person who wants to have a future, because this thing is not just about a person who's bumping into this thing is interested in a different career. But if you want to have a future, that's what we are fighting for now, for survival. It's no longer about having a thing whereby you and then it's about having a future now. A person wants to have a future and they're listening to you, they will pick up things that you are saying and apply it to whatever field that they want to apply it to, of which I feel like is very important, like right now, and why this platform was created. No, thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. Any word of advice you can give to a kid who's watching this right now, says that they're in high school, they're thinking about what am I going to do next year? Anything you want to issue, just about advisor, and just encourage them to say, guys, there is a future. Just don't give up and just go for it.
Makai, my thing is this, man. Right now we have, what we're doing, what are we using? We're using technology, right?
Yes.
We own our phones 24/7. There's nothing that you can't find on your phone, bro. There's nothing that you can't find on your phone. Like right now I mentioned boiler making, for instance. If you want to know what boiler making is, you can simply just go on your phone and just boom, and then izokunika ama results out 10,000. And it goes for now. So what's important is people who don't know what they want to do. They need to find out. They need to learn about. They need to super themselves and find out the different career opportunities which are out there. I mean, no malume, no auntie, no sis, no cousin, you need to start worrying those people.
Yes.
Because we can't keep doing this. We can't all be going into the same field. Because when the
yes.
I mean,
yes.
It's the same thing with the job space.
Yes.
Same thing with the job space. If we all do the same thing, eventually those fields are going to be filled up and there's going to be no work. We're going to have people that's what's happening now. So, use your phones. Use your phones. If you hear something, use your phone. Just find out what it is. And then eventually you might find something that you like. We buy clothes off the internet. Now let's look for jobs off the internet. That's what I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all that I'm saying.
I know, my brother. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Zulu City on Indlebe. Thank you for your time. And I'm hoping this video is gonna help like lots and lots of kids, bro, going forward. Before we're gonna do our slogan is shine like higher our nation city. Ratata career corner, ratata. How shy, brazo?
Ratata career corner, ratata, man.
Empower yourself. Dream big, think sharp. Cut. We out.
Sure.